Something old and dark lurks in Ireland. Something older than the first people to walk the land. And something older than the Children of the Danu. A race whose strangeness is only matched by their magic. They are the Fomorians, and the Children of the Danu have just put themselves in their hands. Ireland is won. The Firbolg lie broken and shattered. The Children of the Danu have achieved their destiny. But with Nuada having lost a limb and no longer being eligible to be their king, the Children of the Danu elect the beautiful and valorous Bresh to lead them. Some hope that this would cement them for an alliance with the mysterious Fomorians, but instead, it only won them servitude. Bresh's father was a Fomorian, and he forced the Children of the Danu to give so heavy a tithe to the Fomorians that it was said that there was not smoke from a roof in Ireland that did not pay them tribute. And even the greatest of the Children of the Danu had to work for them. Ogma, one of the most eloquent of the Children of the Danu, was made to carry firewood all day, and the great Dagda was set to digging ditches. The lords started to grumble, and the bards began to mock Bresh. Soon there was a rising. The greatest of the Children of the Danu threw Bresh from the throne. So Bresh ran to his Fomorian father and asked for aid. And his father sent him to Balor, the Baal Eye, a cyclops whose eye, when uncovered, cast withering fire upon his foes. And Balor took up his cause. But during Bresh's reign, Miach, son of the great healer Dion Cecht, had come to Nuada, the former king of the Children of the Danu, and offered to heal his arm. And for 9 days he worked. And at the end of the 9th day, Nuada had an arm of bone and flesh. Not the silver that his father had given him. But Dion Cecht thought this an abomination, or perhaps was just jealous of his son's skill, let's be real. And so, when he saw the new arm, he took his sword and struck his son across the head. The wound merely cut flesh, and Miach's healing was so great that he healed it back up. But his father swung again, this time cleaving bone. Miach, though, healed that too. So again, his father swung, and this time it bit into Miach's brain. But even this he could heal. Finally, after a comical amount of tries, his father took one last swing, and clove his son's head in two. This, no god or man could heal. But this was all beside the point, as Nuada's arm was whole. He could once again lead his people. And so out to battle again went the Children of the Danu. On the plain of Towers, on Samhain night, they met the strange Fomorian host. The ancient megaliths that split out of the landscape cast long shadows in the moonlight. And at dawn, they would be the silent witnesses to war. As the sun broke, the two hosts let out a mighty roar and charged. Javelins crashed into shields, swords caught swords, spears pierced flesh or broke and shattered on the armor covering it. Day after day, the battle continued, but as it went, the Fomorians noticed that while their swords dulled and their shields became little more than kindling, as their ranks diminished and their javelins dwindled, the Children of the Danu seemed every day to come out with fresh warriors and new forged weapons. So, they sent a spy to the camp of the Children of the Danu, a half-Fomorian, half-Danu warrior who could pass as one of the Danu host. When he arrived, he was astonished to see 3 mighty smiths, who with merely a turn of their hand could fix the weapons of the Children of the Danu. He also saw the wounded being thrown into a great healing spring that would return those, even at the door of death, to full vigor. So this Fomorian asked the smiths for a spear, saying his had been broken in battle. As soon as they handed him one, he ran it through the first of them, ripped the spear out, and then hurled it into the chest of the second smith. He then returned to his camp and told the others of the healing well. Balor's son ordered each Fomorian to gather a great stone, and together they hurled them into the spring, stopping it forever. But not before the Children of the Danu could heal one of the smiths. With the spring stopped, the battle began in earnest. The heroes of each side were arrayed in all of their majesty. Nuada on his side in gleaming armor, Balor towering over his legions with his great eye closed. The Dagda wielding his mammoth club that could kill 9 men with one blow. The harpers sang. The druids called the thunder. The sorceresses of the Children of the Danu sapped the Fomorian strength. And the two great witches who served Nuada called to life the trees and the stones to march as a terrible army of their own. The two sides clashed like none before. Then, in the center of the melee, Balor and Nuada came face to face. Eyes still closed, Balor roared and charged. Nuada was strong of arm as any man, but the great Cyclops was too much for him. Even as he died, another stepped over him. Lu, master of all arts, issuing a challenge to Balor the Baali. The giant bellowed to the 4 Fomorians that rode on his shoulders.
Lift my lid, so that I may see who challenges me.
And the 4 Fomorians scrambled forward to take hold of the giant hook that pierced his eyelid, and straining, heaved it up. As they began to lift, warriors felt sick and weak. As the lid lifted halfway, those in front of him began to retch. And finally, when the naked eye stared out, its deathly flames began to engulf the Children of the Danu. But Lu whirled his sling and fired. The stone flew with such force, it tore the eye through the back of Balor's head and sent it smashing amidst his own troops, who began to be consumed by its flames. The Fomorians began to waver, and just as they did, the Morrigan flew over the battlefield on wings of night, crying out a poem that filled the Children of Danu with battle lust, and shattered the remaining resolve of the Fomorians. It was a rout. In the pursuit, Bresh was captured, and Lu said to him, "Why should we spare you?" And he responded, "Because I will teach your people how to plow and sow and reap." And these terms were accepted. And thus, agriculture came to Ireland. With that done, the Morrigan proclaimed the greatness of the victory, and all acclaimed Lu their new king. Then the host asked the Morrigan for a tale, and amidst the field of the dead, she began to tell of the end of the world. But you know, that story's a bit of a downer, so why don't we save it for another time?